Guys, in today's video we're going to look at how we would train to lose body fat but maintain muscle mass and actually get a physique and a body shape that you can be proud of. So stay tuned. Where do you start? So going into the gym can be quite daunting if you're pretty new to training. You may have been going to the gym for a while but not had any particular clear understanding of how your training should look and how it should go. So what I'd initially do for someone who's looking to bring body fat down and encourage lean muscle mass is actually start looking at using machines if they have them. If they haven't, then free weights is good, but if we've got machines, then we need to utilize them. So we can look at something called an upper lower body split session. And what that means is that we're going to train a lower body muscle group, and then we're going to go straight over to an upper body muscle group. So for instance, what we might do is a leg extension exercise. So we're working lower body, legs, and then we'll go over to we may go over to something like a shoulder press. And what's happening is we're working a lower body and then going over to an upper body. This is great for fat loss as well, because what we're doing, we're moving a lot of blood around the body. We're throwing a lot of blood at the legs first, and then all of a sudden we're asking for a lot of blood to come up onto the upper body, to the shoulders, and this is going to encourage fat loss. So initially we'd start looking at using upper and lower body split sessions. Now in terms of reps and sets, initially what I'd start looking at using a load that we can work with really good form over 8 to 10 reps. Okay, we don't want anything too long or too short, and anything more than 10, 12, 14, something like that, we're going to find pretty difficult to keep tension into that working muscle and actually start using momentum and other muscles to come in to actually perform the exercise. So get a load that we're able to move for 8 to 10 reps. In terms of sets, how many times you're going to perform that movement, initially, if you're still pretty new, we could look at doing it for over 2 sets, and then we can start working up to 3 sets once you feel happy to do that. And then it's frequency. How many times a week are you looking to do this? And initially, we'd look at starting to do it 3 times a week, training 3 times a week, upper and lower body split. With a day's recovery in between each training day. So your week may look something like this. We may train on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday, and that allows us to recover in between there. And on the weekend we may even start looking at having some steady state cardio, something like a nice 20-minute, 30-minute walk, just to get the heart rate up. So how do we start to make progress from this? So we've been training for 5-6 weeks and we've gotten a really good routine. We're training really well, everything's feeling good, but now we feel that we can do a little bit more and we're starting to plateau a little bit, so progress is starting to slow down. So what can we do? First thing we can do is start to increase the load. We always want to try and keep getting stronger, but what we want to do is keep good form. So yes, we want the load to come up, but we want to keep that 8 to 10 reps and performing very, very good. Okay, so we don't want reps that are forced in terms of we're using momentum, we're using other muscle groups to come in to help us to move the load. So increase the load, but keep good form. Secondly, what we can do is bring down your recovery time. So in between exercises, we may be taking 45 seconds, we may bring that down to 30 seconds. So being able to move from one exercise to the other a little bit quicker and bringing down that recovery time. The third thing we can do is frequency. So we can actually start to think about bringing in another training day if we feel that we're in a good place to do so. This is going to, again, allow us to train that one more training session extra a week, and this is going to really get those muscles working a lot harder.